Hello everyone, welcome back to the Kirklees Guitar School Podcast. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. George Loveridge. How are you, George?
I'm all right, James. I'm all right. How are you this week?
I'm good. Has this week been a rock or a roll?
It's going to be a roll.
A roll?
It's one of those weeks where everything that could go wrong does go wrong. That sort of thing. So, what happened? Well, I had a gig on Sunday. I was in Malvern, which we're in West Yorkshire. It's not next door. In an energy crisis, fuel crisis, not ideal. But there we go. Playing the gig as normal, and we play outside, so we play via a diesel petrol. It was a petrol generator on this occasion. And I'm playing and I'm thinking, everything's going really blurry. I'm feeling just a bit funny. And I look to see that A, this generator's leaking petrol. I can see it just spitting out every now and again. And B, the exhaust is facing me.
Right.
And everything is going blurry. And I said to the sound tech, I'm like, can we move that generator, please? Because I'm going really, really funny. And he said, oh, yeah, sorry, he left the choke out.
Right.
So this generator had been running full chat for half an hour, completely gassing me out. And you know when you get home and your clothes stink of fuel and stuff? Just, you know when you try and tackle jobs at home, think, I've got 5 minutes, I'll just do that, and it just goes wrong.
Big mistake.
And a busy week. You've been away this week, and Andy is away this week, so I'm picking up the lessons that you guys can't teach, and I'm on my knees a little bit, but it's okay. It's all to play this thing, so that's fine.
Just wait till payday and then it'll all be worth it, won't it, I suppose?
Wait, I'm getting paid? What? What about you? Are we rocking or rolling?
No, stroll this week. Nothing to
okay.
report. The only kind of things of note is we've got the Experience Day happening on Saturday, which I'm really excited about, which I'll delve into a little bit more. Next week, we've got some more dates for that are going to be announced in the not too distant future for those that missed out on the first.
It sold out
sale.
quickly, didn't it?
It sold out within 20 minutes. It's bad.
Nice.
And then the Friday just gone after these guys see this, once this goes up, I've done my lesson for the second instalment of Comfortably Numb.
Wicked.
The second solo on that, so that's going to be a good video. Go check that out if you haven't done so already. So yeah, other than that, it's been, like I say, I've not been at work much for the past couple of weeks, but as of sort of Monday, we're back to it, and that's pretty much it till August, I think.
Yeah. I tell you what, though,
so.
what does bring this week back up from a roll or a stroll is we're filming the first Decade Discovery next week for the 80s. Yeah, 1980s absolutely. Part 1 is coming next week, which is the first half before our live show, isn't it?
That's right. So for those of you that don't know, we are live on Saturday, the 6th of June at Denbydale Pie Hall doing our KGS Live podcast show. So you can, next week we'll be filming our first instalment of the 80s Decade Discovery, where we talk about great 80s guitar players and 80s music.
1980 to 1985 next week.
And then we're going to do the second half at the live show.
89.
So if you head to the first link in the description, you can find out all about the event, what's involved, and potentially purchase a couple of tickets. Spaces are strictly limited, so if you do want to come, please book those tickets well in advance, because when they are gone, they are gone.
That's it.
We're also bolting on a Q&A to the back end of that. If you want to meet us and want to ask us a question, this is the best place to do so. And we're giving a couple of guitars away.
We are. We're giving 2 guitars away, and the Q&A won't be televised, so ask whatever you want. PG, $1 million for that one.
Yeah, throw tomatoes at us, do whatever you need to do. So yeah, first link in the description, guys, if you want to check that out. So, moving on swiftly then, what we're talking about today, George?
Are AI guitar tones any good? So there's been a lot of talk about AI recently, hasn't there? And Ryan in the Facebook group asked, am I the only one that's using ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, to get hold of some guitar tones? Because it can be a daunting world plumbing your amp in with all these gizmos we have now. So we're going to use AI today to try and give us some tones versus actual humans. Like, can you plumb one in? Can I plumb one in? Throughout various songs. So we're checking if they're actually any good. And then at the end, we usually end with a jam. If you're new around here, we're going to ask ChatGPT to give us a chord progression. So we've no idea what's coming up. So,
and the wider conversations is this all stemmed from, I recently got a pair of the Positive Grid Spark Neo.
Oh, is that like a Katana
headphones.
equivalent?
Yes, it is.
Or Mustang Fender?
But they are half the price. And I managed to score a set on eBay for half of a quarter of the original price.
Wow, so you've done all right.
So I was like, for how much it was, and I needed some for the Experience Days, because all the guys on Experience Days are going to be on these wireless headsets anyway. So I was like, right, I'll have a punt and I'll try them. And I was really late to AI, and I still prefer kind of the old-fashioned way of doing stuff.
You've just got electricity in your house, haven't you?
And running water, believe it or not. But I think there's some really cool stuff, particularly with the positive grid stuff around AI, and it's kind of like, it begs the question. It's really cool to play with, but is it helpful when you're actually trying to get better at playing this? Now, we've done numerous episodes on the Katanas. We love the Katanas. That's no secret
we're
here.
both using them,
But we can dial in tones fairly quickly, and we've done the videos on how to get this kind of tone, how to get that kind of tone. If you're sat at home and you don't know the difference between a super lead and a plexi, how do you sort of, it's essentially like the modern day equivalent of just Googling it, but you ask ChatGPT and it's a lot more thorough.
You can either ask it via your voice or you can type it in, and it gives you more than you asked for, really. And our neck deep portion of today is AI taking over. And I think I've asked AI cheekily when it first started coming out about 6 months ago, when it really started to pick up, was, can you give me a tab for this? And he goes, yeah, sure. And it's totally wrong.
Yes.
But it's constantly learning. And what you can do with AI now compared to a year ago is really scary.
Well, all the funny thumbnails that we do for the sort of decade discoveries and the artist profiles are all, it's prompts through that. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't just literally go, make us look like Angus Young. You have to physically tell it what
give it the specifics. It can only work with so much. But the whole taking over thing, you could spend a lot of time asking it for tones and gear, and I want to sound like, Eddie Van Halen, what's the best gear? And it'll give you all these links and all this super stuff. Meanwhile, that half an hour in that rabbit hole, you've not been playing the guitar. Mm-hmm. And I think we just need to find a way in this episode to 5 minutes max. I want this tone. How do I find it? Dial it in, and then you're playing. I think that's the way to go about it.
Yeah, and maybe that's a conversation for another day, is actually how you can use AI to aid your guitar playing, have the tones and the practice thing completely differently. So before we go too much further down that rabbit hole, let's start with that. So what the sort of general consensus I've got from planning this episode is, you're going to ask ChatGPT. Is it ChatGPT you're using?
GPT, yeah, or Chad, as I affectionately call it.
ChatGPT. Yep. And you're going to be dialing in tones according to them, and then I'm going to try and do it
in real time,
the old-fashioned way.
Yep. So disclaimer: we've got the first song we're going to use. This is so if you're at home, you use what you've got at home. Then we're going to use the Katanas exclusively. So I'm going to use my Nux Cerberus multi-effects unit first, because that's the unit I use, whether you've got a Vailton GP100 or a Boss GT1000, use whatever unit you have. So I've opted for Purple Rain,
right,
which is 1982, so it's a bit of a teaser for 80s stuff next week. So should we give it a go?
Go on then.
Okay. So this will either flop, because we haven't tested this, have we? We probably should have done. So... Hi, I'm looking to play Purple Rain on guitar. I'm using a Fender Telecaster through a Nux Cerberus. Can you give me the best tone for Purple Rain, please?
Awesome choice. So for that Purple Rain vibe, you want to dial in a warm, smooth and slightly overdriven tone, but with a bit of sparkle. On the Nux Cerberus, you can set up a cleanish amp model. Think a bit like a slightly driven Fender Clean, if it has that option. Add a mild drive or boost, just enough to give it that edge, but keep the EQ balanced. Bit of low end, maybe around 50%. Mid's a bit scooped and highs boosted just a touch. And of course, a bit of reverb for that epic, dreamy feel. Let me know if you need any tweaks.
Okay.
So it hasn't really give you any specifics.
No, it hasn't. It's been quite vague. So it's given me a transcript of that.
I would send it another prompt and ask for some specifics. And I'd sort of maybe tell it that you're using the Boss Katana as well,
potentially. So there's one thing that sticks out. I know from my experience that Purple Rain is dripping in chorus. She doesn't know that and hasn't told me that. So I would be quite disappointed if I took that as gospel and dialed it in myself. So I would, right, go on then, I'll ask it. So I'm looking for, suggest that I'm using the Boss Katana and give me specific EQ, perhaps. Thanks, that's great, but I'm using the Boss Katana amp, and I'd also like some specifics on modulation and effects.
Absolutely. So for a really good Purple Rain tone on the Boss Katana, you'll want a clean, slightly chorus-tinged bass. Start with a clean amp model like a JC 2020 setting, then add a chorus effect for that lush swirling sound, set it around 50% mix. For modulation, a subtle phaser or flanger can give it a bit of depth. Just keep it subtle so it doesn't overpower. And if you add some delay, like a dotted eighth note delay, set it really short, just to give a little space. That should get you pretty close.
So we're both giggling like a little school goes
So a
there.
dotted eighth note delay is your... kind of thing. But hey, do you know what? I'm going to ditch the Cerberus and I'm going to go for the Katana.
Right, okay.
Dial
So
it in. So let
do
me...
what it said then.
Okay. I tell you what, can you sort of read out that bottom paragraph and I'll plumb it in as you read it out?
Of course I can. So you want to go for a clean, slightly chorus-tinged bass. Start with a clean amp model, like the JC120 setting. Now, that's incorrect.
JC120 coming up.
Yeah. So I'd use the clean.
Yep.
The clean. Add the chorus effect for that lush, swirling sound and set it around 50%.
50%, yep.
Yeah. Just keep it subtle so it doesn't overpower. If you add some delay, like a dotted eighth note, so let's do what it said. Yep. Just pop some delay on.
Yeah, I've got the flashing tap delay on there now.
Okay.
Yep.
That should get you pretty close. So what does that sound like?
Nearly.
It's close,
It's
isn't
close.
it? I'll give you that back.
It's similar. So let's say I'm at home and I'm not going to say a Wally, but I don't know what any of this does. I've used that. I'm going, okay, that's mine. Purple Rain. You know the song. So chord wise, you've
Am
got
I right in
this
thinking it's B? Well,
B
just
flat.
B flat,
F,
E flat,
and then you've got this weird E flat, yeah, kind of thing there.
and what's the resolving chord? Does it go back to B flat?
Yeah, back to B flat. again.
Right. Okay. So I'm not actually, believe it or not, I wouldn't say I don't like Prince. I've yet to
Discover.
get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Now, people are amazed when they come to see us at the studio when somebody will go, oh, what about, oh, I don't know. Like, great example, I had no idea who Creedence Clearwater Revival was until I was in my 20s, and now they're one of my favourite bands. I think because we are so young, certain things just completely miss us.
There's only
and then-
so much that we can learn.
Yeah, and the vast majority of my playing career has been all about Black Sabbath, so I've been busy down that rabbit hole. But I don't like. I won't say I don't like Prince. I just don't get it. So I actually don't know how to play Purple Rain.
okay.
But I'm going to listen to the album. For those of you in the comments telling me off, I will listen to the album. I'll spin the album at some point this week, and I'm sure it will be just fine. So what I'm hearing a clean guitar tone, loads of chorus. It's almost like a little bit. Now, I know Prince was known for using some quite out there guitars, but listening to the record, I listened to it this morning just to give me some idea. I'm hearing some kind of like out of phase middle pickup type.
Yeah.
What
I
guitar did he use?
He had a really nice telly. I know that.
What, that yellow thing?
Yes, with the red
I think
pick
it was a
guard.
Horner.
All right, but he had this weird purple thing with sort of bits coming out
Well, it was
of it.
the
Like
symbol,
it looked like
wasn't it? It was
yeah.
the
But
symbol.
single coils most importantly, but I mean, you've got a really nice Les Paul custom there, so I think you'll do all right.
So what am I thinking? Well, I'm going to
Definitely chorus. I'd say more chorus than that gave me, for sure.
Yeah, so let's try that then. Modulation.
Now, if you worry about what chorus sounds like, think about the start of Come As You Are by Nirvana. Ooh, that's...
Now, just for full disclosure, between the Mark III and the Mark II Katanas, the modulation colours are different, aren't they?
It is, yeah.
So I'm just trying to... That's tremolo. That's flanger. I'm pretty sure that's chorus.
Yeah.
Now, to me, I'm using the middle pickup. Sounds a little bit too distorted. It's
still
not
too
clean
wobbly,
enough.
not
So
clean enough.
I'm going to turn the gain down.
Mm-hmm.
And this guitar's quite bassy, so I'm going to knock the bass back. And I'm gonna turn up the mids and the treble to try and get that kind
She
of
did
like
suggest that,
mid-focused.
yeah. Keep the mids high. But this is it. You could be at home chasing this for hours.
One thing, she didn't say anything about reverb, did she?
I think there was a little bit in the first.
So I'm going to go for
Yeah, she. Oh, it's disappeared. There we go.
a plate reverb. I'm going to try plate reverb. It's a bit fast, is the modulation.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to use the I'm going to use the bridge pickup.
See, I'm going to go jump to this Cerberus now and dial in what I think Purple Rain should sound like.
Just give me that B flat first.
There's too much of that going on. It's too much.
I actually prefer the sound of yours. That B flat with the G in the bass is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice. I don't know. And then this E, I don't even know what this is. It hurts my fingers, but it sounds really nice. So what I'm going to do I'm going to use what I've got, like you would at home. I'm putting my chorus channel on. What have I got? This is just chorus as it comes out of the box. Not enough. I'm going for the SC chorus. Can't remember what that stands for on this. Going to bring the delay back a little bit on the Katana. There we go. Now, she also suggested a bit of overdrive. What does that give me? See, I think that's more live 80s tone. Is that? I mean, the Cerberus is designed to be an 80s unit. I don't know. Without having... He will appear in the comments thanks to the power of the internet, Prince Tone aficionado. But I think we've both got closer than... But that's why I chose that one, because it's so niche.
Yeah, and that's a good one to start on, good topic of conversation, but not really. There's a lot of elements at play, and if you're relatively new to sort of chasing guitar tones, that one's quite a complex one. Now, what I think would be really cool, rather than going, right, here's the next one...
Yeah.
To our mate Chad.
Yes.
I'll start this one.
I think that's a great... I was going to suggest the same thing.
So the next one is sort of Pride and Joy, Stevie Ray Vaughan, sort of circa Texas blues.
See our artist profile on Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Absolutely. So what do I know about Stevie Ray Vaughan? Played Strat-style guitars into various Fender... is it Showmaster? Big Fender amplifiers that were clean but very heavily pushed with a tube screamer in the front of them. Tuned down to E flat, which I'll be really interested to see if our mate picks up on that.
Yep.
So how are we going to get that tone? We want that sort of nasally kind of like, but still very clean but loud, big presence in the room. Yep. So I'm using the Mark III Artist Katana. So
through a Strat, most importantly, single coils as well.
Yeah,
like
well, that's why I disappeared off camera for a second.
As if by magic.
Right then.
See, in E flat, you're already 99% there.
Right, I'm going to add a little... I'm on the pushed setting, and I'm going to add a little bit more gain.
Problem is, I would say add a bit of booster, but then to get that, I would actually crank the volume in the room and hit the guitar harder.
Oh, we're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. We're getting there. So I'm going to bring the treble back a little bit, but then the mids up, and just a bit of bass to try and give it that presence in the room at sort of talking volumes. Right, now, bit more reverb. And then I'm going to put a booster on top.
So you got the spring reverb on.
I've got the spring reverb on, yeah. Put the booster on, which is their version of like the Boss SD? The yellow one.
Yeah, SD one.
OD one.
OD one, the yellow. 1982 that came out, I think. I was writing about it this week.
Somebody's put one up for sale on the waiting room board. I don't know if you've seen. Someone's got one for sale if you fancy one. It's close.
I go next pickup down. position 4.
This pickup in particular, this guitar, I've had this guitar a long time. In particular, the middle selection of this is very Stevie Ray.
Is that still on its original pickups as long as you've had it?
Yeah.
Not bad.
I think as much as close as we can get, I think that's pretty close.
Everyone should have a Strat and a Les Paul at home. But what if you just got one guitar and one amp?
And that opens up a conversation. You know, we are very, very, very fortunate here to have
Stupid.
lots of different reasons. Financially irresponsible
To have all these guitars.
We are blessed to have quite a lot of different styles of amps, styles of guitar, but this is what 20 years of obsessive guitar collecting and playing does to you. But I think it's worth mentioning in these prompts to AI, I'm using a Telecaster.
You should tell it because...
And I'm trying, you know, if you're trying to mirror Stevie Ray Vaughan, tell it what you've got and it will give you. And I think a big part of this is the specifics and knowing how to ask the right questions, not necessarily, you know. Anyway.
Right, I'm going to ditch Cerberus again and, we'll see what it comes up with this time. This will be really interesting. Here we go. Hello, I am playing a Fender Telecaster guitar through a Boss Katana amplifier. Please, could you give me the best tone for Stevie Ray Vaughan style guitar playing, please? Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, so for a Stevie Ray Vaughan tone on your Boss Katana, you're aiming for that big, clean but crunchy Texas blues sound. I'd go with the boutique and clean amp model. Keep the gain around halfway, add a mild overdrive like the Tube Screaming model if you have it to get that singing sustain. EQ-wise, bump the mids, those are key for SRV. And keep the bass and treble fairly balanced, just a touch of reverb. Once you dial that right in, you'll get that classic singing dynamic feel. Let me know how it sounds.
Now, I don't like once you dial that in, let me know how it sounds. It's like, hang on, no, this is up to you.
Yeah.
This is, okay, so it's given us quite a good, now it could have been listening, but I liked that it gave us Tube Screamer, Texas Blues. It knows, it's done enough homework for that. Okay, so let's have a look. So we're wanting for the gain, it says, I'm going to go for the, I don't have pushed on this one, so I think I'll try crunch first.
Okay. And that's an important conversation. If you don't have the push setting and you are using the Mark II, just use the crunch setting, but bring the gain all the way back.
See, we have Stevie Ray Vaughan at home.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to use. Now it didn't mention anything about the telly for the pickups. That disappointed me because I've only got 3 to use and it does give you a different sound. Now I can already hear that this is making a bit of noise now. I'm actually going to drop the gain back no, let's do it exactly as they suggested. Clean. Gain on halfway. Tube Screamer. I'm going to use the booster.
Yeah.
That's the closest I've got. Hello.
We're
on in the room. It went,
isn't there?
EQ wise, boost the mids. Yep, lovely. I've got about 75% on them. Treble and bass, 50 in the middle. Bump the mids, key for reverb. Just a touch of reverb. Okay. So what would you say about 9 o'clock?
Is that a touch? I'd say less than that.
Less. Well, no.
If it's a touch, it's just a splash.
Well, think of the dial. 12 o'clock is in the middle, and sort of that's full. So I'm going about here, being
right. Okay,
but we'll see. Right,
you're the man. Do what she says. Do as you're told.
Okay, are we ready for some Stevie Ray Vaughan? Wow, that's loud. That's so dry already. It's. Do you know what? It's got the tone there, I think, but the reverb is lacking.
It doesn't have the clarity. It's too compressed.
Maybe what happens if I take the booster off then?
Just to be clear, I was telling you what she was telling you to be told.
Oh yeah,
not me.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Just didn't want it to get weird for a second.
See, I've forgotten all my SRV lists now.
I mean, it sounds great, George, because you're playing it.
It's SRV, but
it's not, is it?
It's just a clean driven tone, isn't it?
Chalk ice is in the freezer. That's what it is.
Yeah. Can we have a 99? No, we've got chalk ices in the freezer. I'm just going to ask you one more thing about the telly. So I know that Stevie Ray Vaughan used a Stratocaster, but I've got a Telecaster. Is there anything I can do using the telly to get closer to that SRV sound?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. So Stevie Ray Vaughan's sound was really about his attack, touch, and that mid-range bite. With a telly, you can get closer by using the bridge pickup for that snappy, crisp attack. You might also roll off a tiny bit of the treble and boost the mids, just like we talked about, so it sits in that sweet spot. And of course, pick dynamics and a bit of delay or reverb will really help too. So you can definitely get in the ballpark with a telly.
She's like, were you not listening before?
Yeah.
We said, okay, well, delay. Sorry, you're wrong.
Yeah.
There's just none of that. Okay, so little does she know the bridge pickup on this guitar is shagged. So there we go. It's okay. Bridge pickup. There was something else that I could change. Roll the treble off to compensate for that new pickup. It's just a clean driven.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
like
special,
that.
is it?
But I like that you can sort of grab it by the neck and go, "Oi, listen, I'm using this now." I say thank you because I kind of believe that they're going to come and get us one day. And if I've been polite, it's okay. I don't know. It's not done it for me as that, sadly. So I mean, if you're at home, it sounds like a overdriven. I think if you're looking for a genuine guitar tone, do it what you do 5 years ago and Google it, and there'll be chat forums online, and there will be amp settings that you can steal from.
But also, you know, if you have got the time to invest in it, do a little bit of reading up, see what they used, and then, you know, again, you could prompt the AI with better information. You know, how, like, we're going to, as last one, we're going to talk about the solo tone for Comfortably Numb, Mr. Gilmour at his finest. Well, we know. Well, let's talk through it, and let's try it with our mate. So, my experience, I know that Gilmour used high watt amplifiers.
Yep.
And now the internet says that he used a fuzz pedal to get that tone. Now I've not been too successful with that. I've used boosters instead. Loads of reverb, loads of delay, and it kind of gets you somewhere near.
Yeah.
So if you say to ChatGPT now, how can I make my Boss Katana Generation 2 sound like David Gilmour's high watt that he used for this recording of Comfortable? You know, be super duper
really specific. Okay. Hello, so how can I make my Fender Telecaster and Boss Katana Generation 2 amp sound like the solo tone for Comfortably Numb, mimicking the high watt amplifiers and boosted guitar tones for that second solo?
Great. Yeah, so for that David Gilmour Comfortably Numb solo tone, you'll really want to capture that smooth singing lead. On your Katana, I'd suggest using the Brown or lead amp model for that saturated high gain feel. Crank up the gain for that singing sustain, but keep the mids and highs prominent so it cuts through. Add a bit of delay. Gilmour uses a tape or analog delay, and a nice long reverb. Then pick carefully, and you'll get really close to that soaring Gilmour lead sound. Let me know how it feels.
Because we were more specific, she had more to go off then, I feel. Okay, let's give it again. Talk me through it then, because there's a lot going on there.
On your Katana, I'd suggest using the Brown or lead amp model. Crank up the gain for that singing sustain. She's not specific.
Just crank.
I'm
guessing
so
80% in that region. Yeah,
I think so. More is more. Add a bit of delay. Gilmour uses tape or analog delay and a nice long reverb. And what I think is interesting here, she says then pick carefully and you'll get really close. So rather than almost like Stevie Ray Vaughan smacking your guitar,
it's being delicate.
Be a little bit more gentle.
Right, I've done all of the above. There's too much spring reverb in there. I turned the volume down to compensate for the gains. Because this pickup's so knackered, I'm going to go for the middle. Not enough delay. It's a passable solo
Yeah,
tone.
it's close enough, isn't it?
It's not bad. I mean, the amp's really hissing now, isn't it?
Right, do us a favour, just knock that off for me.
yeah.
Right, so how would I embellish upon? Because obviously with our expertise, we've fed into the AI. So how could you do that at home? You could Google what gear did Gilmour use on, and then feed that into the AI, so it's got more to go off. One thing that I sort of like, one minor bugbear, could you just take that? That's still hissing a little bit. Is that amp? Thank you. It'll just come through on the recording otherwise. What I think's really interesting about that is they didn't mention. Yes, he used high watt amplifiers. Now, if you know anything about high watt amplifiers, they're not gainy amplifiers. The big, loud, clean pedal platforms.
Just speakers, yeah.
Yeah, very high fidelity, clean amplifiers. And a lot of Gilmour's tone was actually from the sheer volume and size in the room of the amplifier, of the clean sound of the amplifier, then boosted with the pedals. And that's where a lot of the drive and the sustain comes from.
I must admit, I think Fuzz is totally wrong for that.
Yeah, and I did a lot of reading, and apparently he used the Electro Harmonics one, but I don't. So we've got a bit of a Blue Peter moment here.
Yeah, here's one you made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier, right?
Oh, you cheat. Okay. Yeah, that's nice.
On a Les Paul, I had, not a Stratocaster.
Yeah, I know. We're both playing the wrong tools for the job, but that's making it more authentic for people at home. Like, for years, this and my Strat were my only guitars.
So check out the video I did on either solo of Comfortably Numb. The settings are the same for that. Cool. But what's different compared to what I'm doing there is I'm getting all of my overdrive from a booster pedal in the Katana, not from gain of the actual amplifier. Right. And what that does is it turns this into, and you think, now, can you hear how I'm hanging on to those notes and the sustains there?
It's cutting through, isn't it?
Particularly the... when he goes up for those really long kind of like sustained singing notes.
It's clear. It's still clear.
Yes, and we said this in the Angus Young episode, didn't we? It's the clarity that we're trying to achieve. So, bringing it all full circle then, what do you think?
I think I found with that if you, like me, when we got to the Purple Rain or Stevie Ray Vaughan, I didn't know as much of the song as I thought I did. That's my telltale to stop messing around with that and actually go and practice it. Genuinely, because what's the point in having the best, like, if you gave me that tone, it's useless if I can't play it. So I would spend more time getting close enough, but the only other takeaway is that the more specific you are, the better results you'll get.
I agree.
So do that little bit of extra research. It's like your primer before you paint. You know, the better your primer finishes, the better your paint will be.
It's like most things. It's in painting and decorating, isn't it? All the time spent in the preparation, isn't it?
Sand it, dry sand
and the fun bit, the actual painting of it, is
the playing.
Is 20% of the job, isn't it?
I would also say, back to that Gilmour, we found when we recorded our artist profile on David Gilmour, in the you can find that on our playlists, we had to be loud in the room to get it close. I dialed in a wicked tone on this Cerberus for that episode, and it only sounded right when these amps were really, really pushed. So that's one thing to consider as well for that one specifically. But it's fun to experiment. Being in the position we are, it's funny to hear it say, yeah, definitely Stevie Ray Vaughan used an dotted eighth delay and an octave pedal and, all this weird stuff. Are you sold?
I think it's a great tool for those that are still learning about this massive topic that we're talking about here on the podcast. Personally, I feel grateful to have learned in the time just before everybody had the internet at home.
I would agree. We were both at home with a MG15 or a Fender Frontman, tweaking it to get it close.
And doing it the old-fashioned way. And I don't think that was a bad thing, but also I'd be really interested to see the longevity of players coming through the school now that use these tools, and when they get into their sort of like mid-20s or mid-30s, what players they turn into, and whether they can think for themselves.
I wonder if we're heading to an era, if you're a sound man, you'll see it, where there's a guitarist plumbing in ChatGPT for his tone before a gig. That kind of, because you can get reliant upon it, and the less time the more you use that, the more reliant you will become on it. So it's like luthiers losing their craft, or keeping the knowledge alive, really.
Yeah, like don't let it completely take over.
Speaking of tools, we need to play a jam to finish the episode, and this is going to give us the chord progression.
Right, go on then.
So again, I'm going to be really specific.
But I want you to what kind of tones are we using, what sort of style, really kind of go to town, George.
Okay, final thing then. Here we go. Hi, I'm recording an episode of the Kirklees Guitar School Podcast on YouTube. We end every week with a jam between two guitarists. Please can you give us a chord progression for one player to play on, and then some guitar tones for the lead player to accompany the chord progression with. Thank you.
That sounds awesome. Okay, let's keep it pretty versatile. How about a classic 12-bar blues progression in A? So the rhythm player can go A7 for 4 bars, D7 for 2 bars, A7 for 2 bars, E7 for 1 bar, D7 for 1 bar, A7 for 1 bar, and E7 for 1 bar. Gives you a nice familiar groove. Then for the lead player, I dial in a slightly overdriven tone, something like a blues driver or a mild OD pedal on the Boss Katana, so it stays warm but clear. Add a bit of delay and a touch of reverb.
Yawn.
Boring. Right, okay, let's take what she said.
Yeah.
Right, we'll do a 12-bar blues, but I want her to pick a key.
Okay. Please can you pick me any random musical key?
Of course. Let's go with the key of D minor. It has a nice moody feels.
D minor blues, right?
Bit better.
Are you doing the lead or am I doing
You take the lead because you've got a nice lead
Am I using my
machine.
using my Gilmour tone, yeah?
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.